to you in part by Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, thescoreesports.com, G2A, NVIDIA, and ESEA.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to a jam-packed evening of Counter-Strike action. It is the ESL Pro League. I'm joined by Lauren Pansy Scotland of all Gunnarsdal. If I remember rightly, you have literally just walked in and joined us. So this is literally me saying, hello, how are you doing? Nice to see you again. I haven't seen you for a few weeks. So, so let's get straight down to the action. Last week, of course, we had some cracking matches. It was Na'Vi in action up against Dignitas. Actually, tell like it was NIP Dignitas. Get my facts right. And Na'Vi up against Virtus Pro, and Virtus Pro have not had a great start in the Pro League, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's been pretty appalling, let's be honest. 0-8 now, if I'm not mistaken.
0-8, absolutely disastrous stuff for them. You can see the scores here on your screens. It was Na'Vi. Pretty close game in score terms, but in actual fact, it should have been a lot more one-sided for Na'Vi. And then NIP, 16-8, both games against Dignitas. Dignitas were on a bit of a charge, of course. And but NIP, that was the first show we saw of them. Looked pretty good.
The mentality they came in was absolutely beautiful. I don't know if it was the fact that Threat was in the server, just overlooking them. You see the, the different play coming out, but it was a really good start for them in this league.
Yeah, we'd heard he'd had like a day or two back from Japan, straight back in there. But enough of hearing what we had to say about this games. Why don't you guys check them out? The little highlight about last week. Good evening and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another night of Counter-Strike Global Offensive here at the ESL Pro League. We are going to get that first match underway, it seems. It is going to be Virtus Pro versus Na'Vi. It will be Dust2.
You see Flaming now coming towards short, manages to take down Neo. And there's two low HP players as well. They can actually do this. Manages to take all three down.
And shot at that, but Snack's going to try and push through mid. Smoke off, manages to get Zeus inside of it as well. We're going to have a player in the top of mid as well, but Snack's getting seized. They start to slow down considerably, and yeah, Snack's just holding this together.
Gets the ace as well. Nice work from Snacks there.
Peak, interestingly, from Guardian in that situation, you would have thought they would have just sat back, but now Seized actually has eyes on the bomb.
Now they're going for that aggression once more. It's actually going to be Seized remaining. Goes for the P250, can't land the shot. Finally gets the headshot there.
He has jumped up, but he's going to get found by Seized.
Mid from Neo, and this comes the first pick. It's going to be Bialy getting the first shot, making a double as well. He gets two, should surely get out right now, but manages to get 3 kills.
Smoke as well, this will give him a chance, and that does allow him to get 2 kills. Combine that with Taz, the assist on the last one, but look at the Tech-9s come back. Zeus managing Neo and Taz immediately. He's playing behind the big box, so he can't be spotted from doubling. Zeus is going to get the kill. He's going to follow that up. What a round from him. He gets 4 kills with the Tech-9.
Cobblestone is going to be the map.
See the bomb plant. Now it will go down, but he's going to hear that. He's going to jump on top of it, Neo. As a flash goes up as well, this is going to buy so much more time. And Zeus is waiting for the angle to favor him. He pulls it off. What a shot from Zeus.
The mid snake.
I like it. Why not? I want to see an up shot that goes all 4.
It's the first one. Bialy actually answers back though. So, oh, there it is. Guardian does take down Taz. Just going to be Bialy. Left of the AK, and he is towards top middle with 20 seconds remaining. But
Neo's gone down, and they haven't got anything yet. Finally, Bialy gets a kill. Not long because Na'Vi's playing the angles correctly. They're playing efficiently, but thankfully Bialy doubles that up. Seized in a good position below the balcony as well. He spots the shoulder of Taz. He lines up Bialy as well, who can't trade twice. Quite staggered enough. High flash in the air, catches Pasha, but not blind enough so that he can't take Flamey in the end. It will be a 2-0 for Na'Vi.
Ninjas in Pajamas up against Dignitas. I'm excited about this matchup.
Absolutely, you can see them doing absolute work. Those Tech-9s, I haven't said before, makes things a big problem as they have no kits, but MSL has other ideas. It gets a double. That's a fantastic shot to bring it into a man advantage. Just get right remaining.
Completely caught out, but oh my god, MSL, 4 kills and the retake. Chris falls as he pushes through, and now Config on the flank. Stunning shot comes out. Pick gets denied. Rifle recovered. Get right can't save it, and Config again.
Bomb there, that's kind of strange. And there's a knife coming in. Surely not.
Oh my god, Exist. No. She goes deeper than the smoke does, so they will have to walk through if they do want to back him up. Perfect flash as well to follow. Get right gets the shot to Tribino just before he gets flashed, but they are completely wide, and he still gets Config.
NIP versus Dignitas on Mirage coming up next.
That should be the round tied up. Tensuke doing some great work there. Galilda and just get right with the C's out of 2 HP. Gets taken down as well.
Being in towards Palace, that's no surprise, but Exist has put himself closer towards the site.
Gets taken down, maybe he didn't. And Config opens it up. Exist, he's been fragging sensationally. And it's going to be 3-on-3 right now. Forest and Get Right with those lesser weapons. Actually, Exist doing some serious work here.
There's still a player waiting in the corner and back of the site. And there it is. That's Config turning up. And Config doing so much work. He needs to hit one more shot. He can't do it. Excuse me, Tensuke is watching this, but then again, as you said, it's Get Right.
This way towards the beer opponent.
So
Actually will
isn't looking.
spot the barrel, and that's the kill, and has plenty of time to plant as well. This would be an absolute shocker if you think this has to drop here.
Get Right knows exactly where he is. That flash gave away the game to a degree. Now Get Right just holds the angle, and he gets it. Beautiful stuff.
2-0 here today, and this is a new looking NIP.
Yes, that fantastic. See, I just associate fantastic and fanatic together because they just obviously smashed Barcelona. But what I wanted to say was that fantastic 1v3 for Get Right to finish things off against Dignitas.
But for me, it was all about Exist as well. What a swing up in performance from him.
Yeah, absolutely. Brilliant performance. Yeah, Exist was magical on Mirage. But let's talk about the league table and where everybody stands right now. Speaking of fantastic, there is Fnatic at the top of the table, 5-1. They've just, of course, beaten everybody else in Barcelona. Survived with 2 lives. Fantastic tournament for them there. And that was, of course, against Astralis in the final. Down that bottom of the table, though, Virtus Pro. They are 0-8 right now. They will be in action once again 2 times this week. They've got a chance at picking up something, but it is going to be against Envy and Astralis. It's a tough one. Mousesports, of course, it's the first time we're going to see them in action, and they're going to be playing their first 4 games. They'll be playing against Mousesports later on. It'll be first thing today, actually, and then later on NIP.
Yeah, Pablo, you looking forward to this one?
I'm actually really looking forward to see Mousesports play, especially because we've seen them initially play with Nico as their in-game leader at Leipzig, and they did pretty well. Obviously, they played Virtus Pro in their first game there, beat them on Dust 2, which is something that we not normally see.
Yeah, I don't know why Virtus Pro left that there.
Yeah, and they continue to leave it in there. We saw them play it here in Pro League as well, and if I'm not mistaken, they're playing it against Envy.
Yeah, well, let's check out, obviously, the matches for tonight. It will be starting things off. It will be G2 up against Mousesports, as you said. That's going to be on Dust 2 and Overpass. Of course, it's Mousesports. Why would Dust 2 not be in there? Then following on will be Envy versus Virtus Pro. VP in desperate troubles, and they're up against Envy, who didn't have the greatest showing in Barcelona, 5th place, but it was kind of undone by the whole alliance struggles that happened there, and that's going to be on Cobble and Mirage. And then later on tonight, it will be, of course, Mousesports up against NIP, and that will be on Cash and Overpass.
Yeah, no, I really like the maps, actually, for this Mousesports NIP game. This should be really fun, and I kind of wanted to pick a player to watch already for that game, and he's not even a player. I want to see what Threat has been able to do with that NIP team and how that NIP team is going to play now compared to what they did previous. That's going to be really interesting.
And of course, Mousesports coming off the back of winning APM. That's why it will be our hot match of the week tonight. The Score Esports hot match of the week, and it's going to be up against NIP. NIP, they've had, now probably an extra week now with Threat. They are in the boot camp. I've seen pictures actually this morning. Actually, it was in response because Envy threw out their pictures of their pool and everything in the villa, and then NIP responded with like snow. They're just like,
oh, I saw that from Exist.
Yeah,
that
just
was
like
good.
well.
But I know you're excited about the games later with Mousesports against NIP. I've got to take it back to the first one, Dust 2, because G2 showed up massively during Barcelona. Lost it once to Astralis, then did the homework, came back and spanked them the second time around. And Shox was insane. Existence with the entry kits, like everyone on that team was absolutely huge. But everyone knows Mousesports have this as like a home map almost.
Yeah, and it was overtime the first time as well. It wasn't even, it was so close against Astralis both times. And Astralis, well, Moses called them best team in the world on Dust 2, but a lot of teams stepping up to the plate.
Yeah, and I actually think G2 should have had both games versus Astralis at Barcelona. I think they kind of fumbled away that first victory. And
the first one definitely.
Definitely should have been able to close that out, and that's something we've seen G2 do several times. It's kind of been their thing to do. They get to 14 rounds and then somehow mess it up.
It was a sad case on the last day. They just didn't show up, and I know you saw a lot of the players like scream, just saying, "Sorry guys, we just we just didn't show up for the game today. I don't know what happened. And a lot of the players did absolutely turn up for it, though. Scream had some amazing events. Shocks played brilliantly as well.
Shocks just being on the lurk was huge. But even outside of that, I think one of the head-to-heads that I'm actually excited to see is how Chris J will deal with Smiths. Because Smiths was outdoing Device, which, if you look at Device's overall tournament play, is a massive head-to-head victory for him. So I don't know if Smiths can replicate, if he's going to be in the same mindset. Of course, it's like a big difference going from like an online stage to
that second match. I think it was Device, 12 rounds in, had just one frag in the entire first 12 rounds. It was incredible. And yet went on to get like 20 kills in the match. Spun on the next side, but just absolutely locked down by Smiths. Fantastic performance from him.
Yeah, no, I've been one of the players on that side who's actually been stepping up in terms of just fragging power and just having great results as of late. That's really good for G2, and that's something they're going to need if they're actually going to become potentially a top 5 team in 2016.
And speaking of stepping up, Overpass is the second map, and that's where Existence absolutely shined for his team. He was having a mad game on Overpass.
Well, even on Dust 2, when they started to lose out against Astralis went on the break, the buy that came in from, the G2 side was Existence with the rifle. He got the first double entry kill on Long, then he went to the B tunnels. In the next round afterwards, got the next 2 entry kills. He sometimes seems to be able to go to this level that we haven't seen from him as an in-game leader, I guess, in quite some time, right?
No, since CSS pretty much.
Yeah.
Back in CSS, everybody knew Existence as more or less the complete player. He could AWP, he could rifle, he could be the in-game leader and do all of that at the same time. So obviously he's a huge threat to any team that goes up against him and his teammates. But in CSGO, it hasn't been as much of that. We've pretty much seen him having, solid strategy, solid idea of what teams are doing and leading his way in that way. But now if you can actually chip in with getting equal amount of frags, getting to that 20 number pretty much consistently, that's going to be absolutely massive for them, because he's not a bad player and he's getting a bad rep for it because he doesn't have the greatest rating, he doesn't get the best stats every now and again, and people harp on that, but he's an extremely solid individual player as well.
And we may as well stick with G2. The last man we haven't mentioned, RPK. I spoke to Dupree actually on the after party, and he was talking about how Astralis actually feared going long because they just couldn't deal with RPK at doors.
On Dust 2, statistically, he had the highest success in the opening duel. So they're absolutely right to be believing as such. And the duo between him and Smiths on long was just monstrous. Smiths will go down there to help him out early on. Maybe, RPK baits with the AWP shot to get into pit and just holds a pusher on the CT side. And they were absolutely sick at doing it. Now, I think you look at Mousesports and it's a little bit of a different team. They don't get so scared in those duels. I don't know what it is. They have that style that's super confident and quite aggressive. And I'm looking forward to seeing God B as well, because he's such a weird factor. Excuse me, not God B. Chris J. I was like, what? But Chris J, yeah, because so on Dust 2 specifically in the last 3 months, right? Highest kills are with the AWP, second highest with the Scout. Every single round, if he can't get an AWP, he will literally have a Scout in hand, and it's such a pain in the ass to deal with. So for him, if he comes into this with that confidence, he can be a huge factor and maybe undoing that G2 side.
Well, before we get on to Mouse, I want you guys at home to don't forget to get involved with the Score Esports app. You can get the score stats and, of course, the article about the hot match of the week over on that site. You can get it on iOS or Google Apps. Google Play, I should say. Google Apps. I'm so used to getting my apps from Google Play, but I'm an Android man, so there we go. But that's going to be Mouse versus NLP later on. But I want to talk about Mouse. We can't talk about Mouse without really leaving out Nico, because he is a sensation. Overpass is the second map, and I can't think of Overpass without thinking of Nico just coming straight through tunnels and popping their head every time they're jumping up and over. Catches them every time.
Yeah, no, that's definitely something that G2 are going to be aware of. I think they're going to have to figure out how to play not necessarily against Mousesports, but play against the way Nico opens up things for his team, because that's what he does. He's an entry fragger, he's an in-game leader, he's kind of a do-it-all man.
Yeah, and even on the T side, he picks up utility. In the opening rounds, he'll just pick up the smokes, he'll pick up everything, and he'll kind of play that, maybe not the superstar role, even though, in theory, he is one of the superstars in that team. He is a really nice all-round player, and for an in-game leader to still be performing this well, it's so impressive.
Yeah. What do we make of them all? Because obviously, we mentioned God B. He's no longer there.
Way to bring it back up,
exactly,
thank you.
But obviously, Spiddy is back in there now. Yep. They did go and win APM quite successfully. Henry and Sadie stood there, so I'm sure we'll hear Henry talking about it later on. They dealt with a flip side that, yes, it was a weakened flip side, but honestly, they took the whole tournament pretty much with ease.
Yeah, and that's kind of what we expected during the first APM. We expected Mousesports to do a similar thing. Didn't quite go that way. Lost to Hellraisers in the finals. This time around, they actually did it, and everyone performed, especially Nex. And that's something we've seen. Pretty much towards the end of 2015 was the coming out party of Nico. and the disappearance of Nex.
Yep.
And if Mouse wants to be a competitive team against these tier 1 teams, Nex has to be the same player that he was in the middle of 2015, and they have to couple that with the firepower of Nico and a Chris J that has confidence and basically just
he
dumps
effectively
people.
Nex was the reason that they basically massacred Penta as a team and just like
Yeah.
said, we're having all these players, thank you very much.
Yeah, in many ways, he's kind of why they actually got on the map, because you had Chris J and everybody was still, harping on about
It
Chris
was
J being
actually
online J.
Katowice last year, wasn't it, when Nex went absolutely crazy?
Yeah, he was one of
Yeah.
the big players. For me, like, okay, if I just talk about it, like almost map-wise, you think Chris J always very successful in the roles he plays. You think about the other players and how they kind of set up. They're very good at it. But for me, it's like the solo site players. How well do they come up against maybe your top-tier teams? Like, obviously, you see your kind of individuals who shine at the role. You look at your Zip Nicks, you look at your Crims, those kind of players who can really like excel in it at the moment. Like I think Dust 2, it's either I think it's Nex or Dennis who's on the B side predominantly, and it's like I don't quite see them being those not necessarily solo site players, but not being as strong in them as maybe other teams to their degree. Whereas you look across the board, they actually have very competent players everywhere else. So I'm hoping maybe that becomes a bit more of a stable for them, because I'm just curious to see if that actually does become a factor, because Nex does support a hell of a lot of those sites, and if he's not quite up to par, then there is obviously a weakness to be seen.
And then obviously, we briefly mentioned Chris J earlier on. He is one of the defining factors for them on Dust 2. He will take the scout when the AWP is available sometimes and just go looking for those headshots. And it is absolutely possible that he will find them. It's something that happens so often for them. But we mentioned Smiths earlier on shutting down Device. Do we feel he's going to have the same presence up against Chris J? Because Chris J is a very, very confident AWPer. And he will go for the challenge no matter who it is.
No, I actually think so. I think the thing about Smiths is that as soon as he gets on Dust 2, he turns into a different kind of a player.
It's his home battlefield, I guess.
Exactly. I don't think we have another player in CSGO that peaks double doors from the CT side as well as Smiths does.
Yep.
It's actually insane, and he's kind of one of the popularized the pop flash over over double doors to get that millisecond that you need to get your shot off, that type of thing. He was one of the first players who started doing that. So there's just something about Smiths where you're just really comfortable with the angles he can take with the op on that map, and something you sadly don't see as much of on the rest of the maps in the map pool. But Dust 2 is definitely his playground, and it's kind of a weird to say when you think about the G2 team that Smiths is probably the highlight player when it
comes to this map, right?
Exactly.
It is very specific, and I think even though he does kind of characterize a lot of what made those double doors kind of extremely hard to get through if you're up against any good team who has an AWP, he was one of the players, as you said, at the forefront of some of the like nuances that came through. He started to support on long a lot more on that CT side, which I don't think is a bad thing. I think that plays more classically to his style of the defensive AWPer, but Chris J is almost the polar opposite in my mind. I think he can play very passive at times when he needs to, but he's such a hyper-aggressive player, and he's got such a variety on Dust 2 of how he plays. I think it's going to be a really interesting matchup. What style does Smith come into it with? Will he be willing to go for the challenges against someone like Chris J, who'll happily look for them as well? But then again, on this map, you think about like Existence, for example. Like, on the CT side, he'll push into those B tunnels. Gaining map control is going to be super hard, I think, for anyone against them, especially on that T side. I think they're going to struggle because they're so good at responding. And I think back to every time I cast Mouse, I don't know how much they do on the T side anymore, but their mid to B plays, their B splits were so damn good that no one seemed to be able to deal with them, especially in the German scene. Now, outside of that, I don't know how much that's going to apply.
And obviously I want to talk about, we can't really talk about CS without mentioning Katowice that is coming up.
Yeah.
And a lot of these teams will be in boot camps right now. They will be all together. So it's not like your standard, I'm sitting at home, I'm in my comfy environment. It's like actually like full-on pro time. Like we talked about Envy. Envy are in their gaming house right now, down in the south of France. They're all back together again. They've just had a LAN environment where MBK said himself, this event, we are going to work on our basics and come into this one. They're up against Virtus Pro. Virtus Pro themselves have had a lot of problems, but they're about to have their home tournament effectively. This is the one they need to step up on, and often they have stepped up on. They've had a weekend off. They weren't at Barcelona. What do we feel they're going to turn up with? They've got to turn up with something today.
I don't know. Just,
I mean, this is their week to shine, surely.
is it though, or is
Well,
it?
I hope so.
It's a rough week to have to shine,
Envy.
right?
Yeah.
You're going up against Envy. That's not the most fun task in the world. I'm actually really worried to see if we're going to see anything positive out of Virtus Pro, especially given how they're. I think they can do pretty well on Cobble, but then again, Envy, fantastic Cobble team. Dust 2, I'm still not convinced.
They're on
Me
Mirage,
too.
actually. They're Mirage.
Is it
and Cobble.
Mirage?
It's Mirage and
It's
Cobble.
not
There's
Dust
two,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Oh, okay.
That
yeah,
changes
well,
some things.
Mirage
there,
is
but
VP's
still.
map, yeah.
Yeah, that definitely makes it a lot
And
better
Envy
for
did not
VP.
have a good Mirage map earlier on. But anyway,
Yeah.
that's going aside. That's just a little teaser of what is to come later. But first, it will be Gamers 2 up against Mousesports. And of course, your commentators for this one, it's Semler and Henry G.
Well done, D-Man. You could have had that moment where you're like, Semler and Ed, Henry.
It's me. I'm back.
You good, bro? You all right?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Feels like it's been ages since we got to see each other, man.
Yeah, it's
You
been a
just went on
while.
the road.
I've been doing all the kind of smaller events and more fun stuff, and you've been kind of waiting for this moment to come up. We've got Katowice next week, obviously, but Pro League first. Let's get this out of the way first. It's going to be an interesting game, I feel like. It's going to be a hot one is coming in. G2 versus Mousesports. The good thing about this is the fact it's Dust 2, right? This is two of the best Dust 2 teams right now. Like Mousesports especially looking incredibly strong in this map. We saw G2 taking down Astralis as well. So looking like this is actually set out to be a kind of a 50-50. It's difficult to see which way it's going to go down.
Yeah, I mean, if you read like the comments, etc., just going through like the HLTV page, everybody's like, "Oh, G2 have got this," but everybody seems to forget that Mousesports are actually really good on Dust 2. This is a sick map for them. Nico always goes ham, and then you got Chris J with that op. But we really have to be looking forward to the battle between Chris J and Smith, I guess, with that AWP. Smith, this used to be his playground. I know we say it every time. It was like Smith though was that poster boy for players who just excel at a certain map. They just hit a different level, and Smith's on Dust 2 was always a thing to watch. So
this is the thing, right? He's got to go against Chris J. I feel like Chris J is actually a demon on Dust 2 as well. The guys mentioned it before as well. Even when he doesn't have the AWP, he's more than capable of actually patrolling this entire CT side with the scout as well. It can be so deadly just finding those tags. And that's kind of an interesting prospect for both teams, really. Like we saw G2's force by potential with the Tech 9s as well, winning so many crucial rounds. They've got so many talented players in their roster. They can rely on Tech 9s and have the confidence to go into key positions with those Tech 9s, especially through middle, and win so many rounds. I think that's going to be a real big storyline going into this game. Whether Mousesports who can hold them off. We've actually struggled quite a lot in their anti-eco rounds especially, so that's going to be one of the hotlines for me going forward.
I felt like a lot of the teams actually were starting to struggle with anti-ecos again. It's like we're coming full circle
Yeah,
where
you're right.
Teams are having to relearn. They learned how to deal with it, and then they forgot. They went back to more individual play, and now they're getting caught out by anti-ecos again, by those force bot, CZs, Tech 9s, and so it has to come back around again where teams are going to get to adapt and figure out just how to handle it. Stay grouped, guys. Buddy system.
This is the thing. A lot of teams are focusing on buying rifles instead of utility. They don't have that little mix to kind of to actually hold off some of these Tech 9s. But it looks like we're getting back into this one. We're having a look at the buy coming in. We'd assume Nico getting the Desert Eagle. Yeah, there it is. Straight up T side. Every single map he'll be doing that. It's going to be 5 sets of armor for G2 as well. So they don't really have much retake potential in terms of actual utility or kits.
Yeah, I'm not exactly a big fan of this strategy. G2 have been using this more and more. Just, straight to the point. Rely on your aim to get the job done.
Fnatic do something similar, but they always have Crims who has the kit and the HE, just so you have something to come back into the site with. If he's rotating in, at least he can nade towards the planter and potentially take that one down. But let's see what Mousesports are doing. Obviously, most CT teams will be showing aggression on this Dust 2 pistol. They normally boost 2 players up towards short, try and scout some info towards middle, but it's quite a passive hold from G2 this time. Same thing for Mousesports as well. Both teams just kind of feeding it out a little bit and seeing who's bringing what to the table. You
know what this makes me think of with Mousesports? It makes me think that they were trying to wait and see if Shoxy was going to try and push up mid.
Yeah.
Because sometimes Shoxy does this. He'll just run up mid and try and catch people out as they go into Longhouse. Existence is the one spotting here on B slope, but he's just kind of putting shots through, waiting to see. Well, they're just waiting to spot somebody. And there you go. That's frustrating. It's like you finally see somebody. What happens? You get insta-dinked down to 11 HP.
This gives Mousesports so many options now. They still have the smoke grenade here. I think they're going to go up towards Catwalk and to see whether there's any presence from the CT cell. I'd say eventually they either go back towards middle and smoke TT spawn, or they're going to smoke off towards below Catwalk here and try and swarm the bomb site one flash. So that's going to be the smoke towards CT spawn. You see the flashbangs will come over, drop 2 players down and see what they can do here.
Tough call there for Shoxy as well. He just gets ganged up on by Dennis and Nex. And now this is all the push that Smiths is down low as well. He got tagged from long, dinked immediately, and this is just not working out whatsoever for G2. Mousesports, they're going to power up onto that A site to hit all of their shots, and now Scream has a very tough job on his hands here. He's the only one with full HP. Existence needs Scream to come up with something big.
Well, this is the thing, they don't have the kits now to retake or any utility whatsoever. It's going to come down to raw headshots here. Scream, obviously one of the best men for the job, but unfortunately not really able to find anything. Quite nice discipline, and lots of crossfires coming in from Mousesports here. You can see G2 actually betting out his round, deciding to keep the armor and take that into next. They've obviously got 15 HP and 11, so the round's over at this point. Try and save your armor, and we'll go for the force by next round.
That is not something you see very often. I mean, I don't understand why Scream would be standing there in Lower Dark when the goal is to save your gear. Save your gear.
That's true, especially like obviously he's looking for an exit kill. If he finds even one, he gets $300. But the fact he has such low HP, it's not even worth it. That stage. The armor is so much more valuable, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you make that decision to hold on to your stuff for the next round. Existence gets caught as well. Nico just rips his head off with the Deagle. So Nico got some joy out of the Deagle, and he actually got 2 kills that round.
Yeah.
With that Deagle, and it's just straight Deagle Kevlar. It's not like it has a flash or anything to make his life easier. He just goes in brute force.
There we go, then we're going to be going to the force buy, of course, from G2 here. We've seen the scout come onto Smiths, and we'll see what he can bring to the table here. The rest of his team will be on 5-7s, and Existence on towards a Deagle. We've actually got 4 rifles coming out from Mousesports, so you'd assume it's going to be quite a slow play from them. Looking like they're going to not send any players towards B whatsoever, so they actually have to act a little faster. They don't have much map control, so Flash is coming over, getting this long presence. No CDs waiting for them as well, so this is just great for them. They can completely take over long. It opens up so many different opportunities. Get control of long, go back towards an A split, and they can keep Chris J in the pit with that scout.
Yeah, I dig it. You have those AKs, make use of the rifles, look for the long-range fights, and then you've got Chris J also to land some shots on Smiths. And so now Smiths has to play this a bit more passively. This allows for Mousesports to start pushing up towards that CT cross, but there are 4 players here for G2. This has been slow for Mousesports. It's given time to the Frenchmen and the Belgians to start rotating over onto the site to set up a defense. So now it comes down to the headshots, and Dennis, instant kill, manages to pick up 1. He gets a second as well. But they're taking damage here, Mousesports.
Yep, it's actually a pretty decent exchange so far, but just Existence and Shocks remaining with the Desert Eagles need to try and make something happen here. Horrible positions, really, and nothing really to do once they've been smoked out here. Maybe go for the boost and try and stop the bomb going down. At this point, it's probably worth considering saving. Let's see what they can bring to the table. Here's the boost. This needs to find a kill pretty quickly.
Oh, it's a bait. Are they going to fall for it? Oh, the angle is working out perfectly. There we go. They figure out that Shocks has been boosted up on the plateau now. He's looking for that headshot with that 5-7. This would be a lethal range to hit it from, but it's not going to happen. Nico with the wall bang will take him down. It's going to come down to Existence now with his trusty Deag. For a while, he was talking about how his training regimen was actually comprised of just like headshot servers with Deagles. You know, and that's how he was trying to work on his aim.
It's kind of nuts. Like, to me, it's still not a very reliable weapon, but we are seeing it coming to the meta more and more here. Nico, especially, one of the guys defining that. He's currently on 4 for 0, but Mousesports have a decent round, going for that long control to kick things off. As I said, they didn't really have much control of the map whatsoever, so didn't really have many options in terms of timing. Got straight out, and once you get control of long like that with the AK-47s, that's pretty much round over. So Dennis opened the side up, and it should be a full eco coming in for G2 now. You can see they've got a couple of PT-50s, that's about it, and we've got the bomb just crawling into B now of Nico, of course, to open things up.
And what an interesting situation here for G2, because they are gambling on some B action coming in. Scream with 2 headshots instantly takes out Nico, and they are going to drop low. Existence has to give some ground, but all of his team are here to retake. They're just going to go charging up onto this site. Mad pressure going out here on Mousesports, but they seem to be holding their own, at least until that moment when Shoxy actually gets the job done with the P250, and now it's all going to be down here on Chris. Swaps out for the AK, but Shox doesn't let him go. And that's twice now that Mousesports walk into a trap.
That's just so indecisive for Mousesports. The fact they're sticking in the tunnels and not actually moving. When you get spotted like that, you need to do it's like fight or flight at that point, right? You either fall back and like defend yourself and recalibrate what you're going to do, or you actually just go into the bomb site. You can't sit in the tunnels there. It's so easy just to come with the P250. You barely even have to aim with so many players on the screen there. And the fact that G2 they had what, 1 P250 and silence USPs? They shouldn't have any grounds in that round whatsoever. Like Mousesports, we talked about this going into it. They have struggled with these rounds in the past, but they are going to be force buying themselves. So AKs and Deagles, and once again favouring this B bomb site, almost a mirror of last round here.
Actually, yeah, it's exactly that. Chris J's going to open things up. He's got that AK, takes point, and he actually takes out Scream. Big spray coming in here from Existence, but it's not going to be good enough. He did a lot of damage, though. Mousesports, they're all very low. So hoping to get lucky with that HE. It's going to tag down a man down to 24. That was Nico trying to get across, but yeah, they're all so low right now. There's an HE on Smiths. There's an Incendiary on RPK. We have to see if they're going to be able to make these count.
Yeah, it's still a 5-on-3, but still very viable here for G2, considering the low HP for Mousesports. They are going to be going for it as well. Flashbang goes in. Smiths, can he find anything with this? Going to take down the first one as well. Speedy drops, and now he has full control of the bomb site as well.
Shocks. He gets headshot, but he gets saved by the box. It's going to be RPK instead, who just comes in on the flank, and now Nex alone with the Deag. We have to see if he's going to be able to deliver. He has to try and take a fight. If he gets pincered in here, exactly. If he gets pincered in here, he has nowhere to go. And G2 have all the time to move in. They both have kits picked up, so they have ample time for the defuse here. So a little bit touch and go there, a little bit scary considering Existence and Scream were both in position to deal with that rush when it came in. Neither of them really being able to get a kill, but still, Existence with his big spray as they came out of Upper Dark made all the difference.
Just so much damage done. The fact they lost the first 2 frags, I think they got the damage report coming in. Is like, you know what, guys, this is actually viable for you. RPK, fantastic tournament. Barcelona stepping up once again. A huge retake coming in. Now Mousesports, interesting decisions there. Going to be force buying once again, even weaker than it was before. 1 AK, a scout onto Chris J, and then obviously the Desert Eagles once again for the Germans. Nico It's going to be on the rifle, going towards long this time. They haven't actually been spreading themselves out and going for like just traditional defaults here. It's just been committing to one area. Let's see what we can make of it. This time it's going to be long once again. And can Nika do anything with this?
Yeah, it comes out of timing here. Great flashes going in, but they happen to blind RPK as well, so he's not able to get anything out of it. And right now they need to figure out how many people are here for Mousesports. Chris J, fair trade. They'll take that any day. Next hits the headshot on RPK. And now Dennis playing with that angle, trying to bait out another shot. He's not going to get it, and Smiths is now going to be able to close this off with the AWP. Free kill on a Nico, who just really hasn't had much luck in the past couple of rounds. He just keeps walking into bullets.
Yeah, Smiths now actually just going for the straight-up base. Next does take down Scream, and Smiths now in a difficult position. Needed to land that shot to stay alive, and it's going to come down to the 2-on-2 now. Both players on high HP as well, as Next finds his third. He picks up the scout, but they have got control along. Could pick up the AWP with that smoke being deployed as well, so plenty of time to play with. GT need to work out how they're going for the retake. You can see one player's going to be rotating in. That's going to be Existence with the AWP coming up towards short. If you can get towards actual spotting the crossover, this is fantastic. If you can back up Shocks in that manner.
That is what it's going to come down to. He's going to be able to rotate in fairly quickly, but Speedy's now up onto this site. And Next has picked up an AWP. Smoke goes down, block off Cat. Existence hits the shot, but it's a wall bang through. And so Speedy is going to survive. They still have no idea that Shoxy's on this site, though. Holding up close. Shoxy playing very patiently here until Next just barely spots his shoulder. Existence, though, changing up the position, and that drops the bomb on CT Slope, and he hits the second shot on Speedy as well. So great recovery here from the French in-game leader.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, that's really interesting. The fact he actually repositioned himself from short, went all the way around to CT spawn. Actually worked out, like, it was almost a bit lucky that he takes down the bomber first, as that puts him in such a strong position there. There's only, like, 15 seconds remaining. Bomb down on crossover. You've got no real option but to try and bait out a shot and make him miss a shot that he can grab the bomb, but unfortunately Existence seems like it's too hot today. Rolling back the years and picks up a double AWP kill there. There's another force spike coming in from Mousesports. They are just relentless right now. They're trying to grind down the CT economy, but Shocks, he's changing up the pace. He's pushing towards the top of middle. You mentioned this before, but this time it's with an MP9 up against AKs that are ready, and it's going to be Next to take him down. I feel like Shocks had to do that considering how many rounds they've won in a row now. You could probably guess that. Mouse didn't have much to work with, but they're going to keep the pressure on here, and it's going to be kills all over the place. Nico with the double Desert Eagle headshot. That's why he's so strong with this weapon. And now Mousesports firmly in the driving seat here in round number 6.
And there's the flash. Next, he's going to get caught, but Nico, man, he's unstoppable. Another kill for him. That's 3 so far, and now they have to know that if that flash probably didn't come from Scream, they have to know that somebody's holding in close here. Existence, he's playing with the smoke, and he's going to be able to just wait for that timing. He's waiting to see. It's all about audio right now, just giving a listen. Trying to count the steps, see how many people have gone past. He knows that somebody's up on the site, but he's been spotted. He takes out Nico, but that's not going to be good enough. Next, we'll find him from on high. And finally, this like repetitive force buying pays off for Mousesports. They get 4 people to survive as well at the end of that round.
Yeah, could have got them in a little bit of trouble there had they lost that round. But you know what? When Nico's hitting shots like that and you've got the confidence of someone to actually deliver those kind of results, that's actually kind of sick. He gets the double kill towards long. Purely by himself wins that round, picks up the AWP and gets the third as well. And G2 actually only finding 1 frag in that round as well. It's going to put them on a pretty hard reset here. Desert Eagles and CZs and some PT50s as well. A little bit of body armor to help out, but this should be a firm round for Mousesports now. They shouldn't have any foot in this whatsoever. You can see the T's now spreading themselves out a little bit, not going to be committing to one area of the map at the start of the round, which is what let them down before, like just walking into B and without any contention on any side of the map whatsoever. So you can see RPK here, just listening out towards short to CZ, but Mousesports just trying to work a pick before they commit to anything.
Yeah, I dig it. This is exactly what they need to be doing. Instead of just, grouping up and going in.
Exactly.
Go for a straight up map control play.
It's no real reason just to go, let's just go B it. Like, unless you're going to hard, like, full-on rush it, that makes sense, because you're getting in there and you're kind of taking a little bit of a gamble. The fact that you walk straight in, you could potentially just walk into a Desert Eagle headshot, and you're getting no one to get the reply as well. That's when it becomes a really interesting decision, but so far so good for Mousesports, just kind of ascertaining what's available. It's going to be Nico to kind of sniff out mid here, see if he can find any players close, but Smiths is waiting on the other side, and I was going to say Nico should have been taking that kill down. Looked like he was aware, but it's going to be the PT50 that comes out trumps that.
Yeah, but surprising there to see that Nico wasn't able to pick that up. Looking a little asleep considering the shots that he hit in the last round.
Indeed. Well then.
This is still pretty decent though for Mousesports. It looks like they were able to recover the AK, so Smiths wasn't able to pick that up for free. Existence trying to check around, but he eats a flash and he's not going to get punished. However, he did actually manage to set Smiths up here for a bit of a lurk play.
Yeah, this is actually a really nice position. I normally call this the AZ spot. Obviously, you can see over the smoke, and it looks like Mouse aren't going to be checking this whatsoever. The problem for Smiths is only has a P250. He can probably find 1 kill before he'll be hunted out, but let's see what he can do here. It's going to be long range, takes down Speedy there with the help of Existence as well. Now Scream gets that call from middle. He's going to be trying to get to upper B tunnels and wait for rotations, but going to be too late. Dennis takes him down. Lovely shot from Chris, but an equally nice shot from Existence to bring it into a 3-on-2 in favor of G2 actually.
Yeah, this isn't good here for Mousesports. I mean, luckily for them, they have the B site, which is, these choke points that should work there in their favor. But using a lot of utility very quickly there just to try and buy some time to focus on Upper Dark, it looks like. Might have wanted to try and hold on to that a little bit longer, just once this bomb starts to tick down, to really apply the pressure to G2. Because G2, they're playing it correctly. They're taking their time. They don't have a kit, but there's more time on this bomb now, and so now Shocks, I mean, especially if he's going to hit shots like that, it's not going to be an issue for them to move on in. Surprise play, gets the defuse, and Dennis, this could be at the moment. The lurk could have paid off, and he is actually going to clutch it in the end. Triple kill in what should have been an impossible situation to come out ahead in.
That's actually really impressive. That's such intelligent play. Pretty much the only way you could win the round there is just pretending, do you know what, I'm in the tunnels as well. They didn't even check it. He let two players walk in front of him, bought as much time as he possibly could. It's the perfect replay right now. You can see his RPK scoped in, doesn't actually spot him. Shocks gets dropped as well. The only chance they had without the kid of actually getting that round. And he picks up the 3-man. And Dennis is one of those players we don't really give enough credit to recently. He had a really fantastic tournament at APM, and he just wins Mousesports a massive round single-handedly when it looks like they had no real estate really to work with. But we go into round number 8. Forced by not working out for G2 that round. They're going to be back onto Deagles and 5-7s, and once again Mousesports getting full control of long here. They have no presence on the map anywhere else, so you'd think this should be them moving pretty quickly. The Shocks gives them a kill for the smoke, and now they can slow things down a little bit.
Shocks is really trying to force things right now. This is something that it's a bit of a weakness of Shocks that he suffers from time to time. When he feels like things aren't going his team's way, he tries to force things. He tries to get out there and get aggressive and try and force the headshots, and a lot of the time that actually doesn't really work for him. So we can kind of see that now. A couple rounds ago when he had the MP9 charging top mid.
That's kind of crazy. That didn't make any sense to me whatsoever. Even if you found one kill then is traded, that's probably the best you're ever going to get. You're still giving the terrorist advantage. Like, you needed someone flashing him in or doing something with it. But regardless, so Dennis once again opening up his A bomb site. He should get a double kill here as well. Does manage to take it. It should be a simple procedure here as he takes an RPK as well. Dennis stepping up once more. 4 frags for him this round. And that should be G2 back in some decent money now. But Mousesports, after a few force buys, getting himself some decent footing here in the first half of Dust 2. Looking pretty strong.
Yeah, I can't tell if this is a tactical pause or not. It could make sense for a tactical pause. Like the timing could work out a little bit here for G2, just to try and slow things down, considering they're going to have a full buy. They're going to have everything they need.
I assume they're going to bring the AWP out this round as well. So yeah, Shocks. Oh, Smiths has picked up the AWP. So this is
it's apparently a keyboard issue. So
okay,
it's not attacked. Oh, maybe Existence. Maybe they've managed to fix it there.
Yeah. Well, now the fact he's bought, you'd assume it's sorted.
Still, that is perfect as far as Mousesports are concerned that last round, because they just survived with all 5 players. It was a perfect anti-eco. Now they actually have a bit of a buffer, so if they lose this round, it's not just going to be Deagles for them all over again. They'll actually have the money to go up to AKs.
This is one of the first true gun rounds we've seen here. It's been a relentless force buying from both teams, but fully equipped now. We're going to have Smiths with no body armor here, but we know he can be very strong towards the crossover on the A-bomb side. We'll see what Mousesports bring to the table. Obviously, Chris J back on the AWP as well. Let's be holding towards T-Spawn with the bomb as well, so you'd assume this could be more of the pick mentality here. Nico waiting for Chris J to come and face and see if he's going to be any aggression. This is one of the key places that normally Existence will pick up the orb, and he has a decent spawn. He's more than happy to face towards lower B, but this time no one going to be there whatsoever. And Shorts actually could be open as well. More of a mid-focus here for the CTs.
Yeah, more of a default actually kind of set up here for the CTs. 2-1-2, keeping Shoxy in mid-CT to keep an eye on things here at mid-doors. You can see he's got that kind of crossfire established with Scream, who's up on B-slope by the doors on B-site. So G2, they're kind of just waiting. It's a bit of a catch-all approach. They're just waiting to see where Mousesports are going to try and put the pressure on.
Yeah, Chris J now has managed to get out towards mid-doors, but Shoxy is away. You can see him flashing them off. Chris J is trying to work this first pick. Normally most teams would smoke off to the left here before committing like this. Going to go for that shot through the smoke. Doesn't manage to get it, but the full B split coming into fruition now.
A bit of a surprising play there, but they do manage to trade. Doors are not going to stop him, and then Scream just kind of launches himself through that smoke out of Upper Dark and gets caught by Dennis. Shoxy not going to be able to rotate back in quick enough here to have an impact, and now it comes down to decision time here for G2. Do they want to try and press this?
This should be a save at this point.
Yeah, a man down retake on B site. It's not a very appealing idea unless they can get a kill very quickly here. RPK may have the element of surprise coming in from T-Spawn into Upper Dark, and that would be the kill that makes all the difference. If RPK can find Dennis and win that duel, that's what G2 are waiting for. And there you go. Now the pressure is on here. Now they actually have a split onto the site.
Next actually has a Molotov as well. I'm not really sure why he's not dropping that out the window with the doors smoked. Regardless, they're going to win the round, but it got dangerous, like you said. As soon as RPK picked up that frag in tunnels, all the doors were open then, but Mouse holding on strong. Next, picking up 3 kills once again. One of the headline players of 2015 for this team. Seems like he's kind of finding that form once again in recent months, but that's another big round. It's going to actually be another eco coming in for G2. We spoke about their force buy potential. We've seen it a lot this game, but looking like they're going to be a little bit more conservative this time. Just doesn't Desert Eagles, PT50 and a 5-7 on Shocks as well. A little bit of body armor chucked in there, but Mousesports getting some decent footing, and Nico just going to be on the Tech 9. I guess he'll be more of like a recon style player. Going into, they've had trouble going into full stack so far, so if you can send him in first and if it works out there is a stack towards a certain area, at least they can fall back and not give too much away.
You know, because he's most likely going to be the man to die. He just had a moment there in T-spawn. He went up to Chris. He was like, hold me, Chris. Hold me. May this night never end.
Please, no more USP kills.
And then, yeah. Because he actually, Nico has been taking point a lot of these times, going in as the entry frag or the fragger. Yeah. You know, it works both ways, and he's had it actually has worked both ways in this first half for him. So with this Tech 9, though, he can be very quick up to the top. Next holding top mid right now outside of Longhouse as well, but this might actually catch Mousesports off guard. They have nobody watching mid. It's completely wide open, and G2 have now laid a trap in lower dark, so this is going to get real tricky here for the German lineup.
It's the same thing again. They've got no presence on the map before they're committing to tunnels now. You can see the CTs coming in. They have no vision on lower B. He should be able to get this first frag as Dennis capitalizes once again. Does get taken down, but is neutralized pretty quickly. CT's coming from all angles, but Mousesports managing to contain himself here. Bomb is dropped though, but it's still a little bit scary for them.
But the Sam Hill took so long for the rotation to come in. Now Existence is into lower dark, and he's got an AWP to play with. He can hit these shots, but Spitty shuts him down first. Scream going to buy even more time here on this clock. Puts that smoke down, and then, I was about to say, Scream flashes his way through? No.
Yeah, he still
Put
has
that
the bomb.
smoke down and chill.
He just wants to defend this at this point. You can
Turn
see
on
Mousesports
Netflix.
need to work out 25 seconds, right? They have smoke grenades, flashbangs, and time ticking away. They need to work out how they're going to approach this one. They're assuming Scream's going to go aggressive, but the fact now, they probably don't have time to go to the A-bomb site. He can just camp in the back of B, utilize his AK-47 and see what he can do with this. 10 seconds remain. Mousesports, I think they've just realized the blunder they've made. This could be impossible. All Scream has to do is find one kill.
He's waiting for them to actually wrap back around.
They can't plot. I don't think they can plot, you know. They can't plot.
Oh, maybe just in time. Maybe just in time, but easy work for Scream. He gets the kill on next. That was the bodyguard for Speedy there, and then transfers that spray onto Speedy. So nicely done there by Scream. Huge clutch play from G2. And again, another anti-eco lost here. Anti-eco lost. It's so weird. Mousesports, they go from having a perfect one then where they have all 5 players survive the round to throwing 2 anti-ecos here to G2.
That's the operative word. That's a huge throw there. They're not watching lower B. They're not watching middle. They've got 2 players outside long, 3 walking to B. Like that's not a thing. That's an idea you do with like a surprise in a gun round. You don't do that on your anti-ecos. You need to spread out across the map, see where the aggression's coming in, then get together. Once you've ascertained what's going on, it's going to be going into round number 11 now. And there's a full buy, of course, from Mousesports, but equal exchanges so far. It's going to be Mousesports coming out on top as Dennis takes down Smith, and they still have Existence on the AWP though, so he's got the retake potential there.
They just need to chill right now, Mousesports. They need to calm down. They've got the man advantage. They force a lot of utility out of G2.
Yeah.
There's no nades left on G2, hardly anything to speak of. And now they have control of long, so all they have to do is keep cool here. It's G2, the pressure. It's basically up to G2 to make the gamble here and just say, okay, are we going to stack A? We're going to stack B? Like, where are they going to be going to?
This is one of the key things about Dust 2. It's one of those maps when you have the man disadvantage, you need to be pushing it to somewhere. You need to be working out, get some intel, challenge for a kill here. Mousesports looking like they will be committing towards the A bomb site. Scream, ready though through the smoke, doing a little bit of damage there, but it's going to be next, leading the charge here on towards A ramp.
And Shock's usual spot behind the boxes, going to hit that first one. Nicely done from him. He's not able to capitalize and pick up a second kill, however. Now that Molotov there to deny element, and they should be able to get the bomb plant down. Dennis just taking advantage of that Molotov, blocking off that angle. He's going to be planning a little bit out in the open, but that smoke is just going to block Scream, and it gives enough time to reset here. Mousesports, now they can actually defend this site safely.
They're going for a cheeky little boost here. Need to find a frag very quickly. There's only Scream on the kill. It's looking like they're bowing out of this round. Finally going for the save here. So the problem is with this, after G2 having a really successful eco round before, this actually puts them another hard reset. So saving the weapons could be absolutely valuable. If they can actually get Smiths on the AWP, work a frag, boost them on short potentially, they can work with that next round. If they go down with nothing, it's literally down to a full eco once again. So intelligent decision, I'd say, from G2 this time. Didn't really have much control once they were smoked out of short. They tried the boost. Had they found a frag within the first 5 seconds, that could have been like some sort of possibility there. But Mousesports coming back in. Simple play from them. Getting that control of long once more. Just finding those first 2 frags at the beginning. It's actually, long has been a problem for G2. After we talked about RPK having one of the strongest long performances against Astralis in Barcelona recently.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
And Scream just drops all of his bank on a second AWP.
Okay, so they've managed to get an AWP. So 2 players on pistols here. They saved an AK, so just spreading the wealth around. Going to be relying heavily on these orbs. It's going to be Smith to face through the middle. He needs to find a kill. It's actually going to be Existence. Gets the headshot on the Chris, flashing over, capitalizing there, and they get the man advantage. That's exactly what they need at this stage.
Yeah, now they've got the pressure on long here, and RPK is not exactly, he doesn't have the best firepower for this. Better to back off, set up an upper, take advantage of that long angle, and yeah, Smiths, he's going to get boosted up. And now G2, they regain control of the situation. There isn't a whole lot that Mousesports can do to force open this angle. Instead, they're waiting to see if G2 are going to make the mistake of pushing out there to get the info. That's what Speedy's waiting around over there by Big Blue.
Scream's managed to get into upper B here.
Yeah. It's just risky. It's so risky.
I like it, though. The big balls play similar. This is what you need.
Gambles.
And when you're up against it a little bit, 2 players on pistols, he knows he has to do work. He's actually managed to get the T-spawn as well. I think Nico's in suicide with the AWP. He could absolutely get caught with his pants down here. Scream, seeing the corpse, doing a little bit of detective work here. Does spot one, going for that risky headshot at that range, but manages to get it in the back of Dennis. And once more, gets that frag. 5 on 3 now in favor of G2.
And now they know, and he gets Nex as well. Nex decides to challenge with that bomb. Spitty's there, he gets that headshot, but just Scream keeps delivering. Not going to get the final one. Nico is going to finally shut him down. And Nico coming in with a second kill onto Shoxy. 40 seconds left here for Nico to make the play. He's still got full HP. He's got a smoke and a flash, but he decides to swap out for the AK instead for this long fight. And, well, it's going to be a bit tough for him. 2 AWPs that he's going to have to deal with, and Smith is still camping up on that site.
Dust 2 default's one of the easiest things in the game to actually understand. How is there so many holes in the Mousesports setup so far? As we said, though, Nico making this competitive at least. He has managed to find 3 frags this round. He could find this one as well. He actually manages to get it. Comes down to a 1v1. This will be the ace. And Existence actually pretty low HP as well. This is actually pretty fantastic from Nico.
This is huge. Smith's just allowing this to happen. He had the AWP, sure. But it's a safe plant coming out here from Nico. Little does he know Existence is still on long, but Nico, he's doing a fantastic job. He's found a smoke as well, but the timing is impeccable, and Existence is there to ruin it for him. 2 kills for Existence, 3 for Scream.
Wow.
But, I mean, Nico, man, this guy, he is ridiculous.
He's actually one of my favorite players in the world to watch right now. This guy's got so much on his shoulder. He's like 19 years old. He's the in-game leader, their top fragger, their absolute star player. He's actually one of the hottest properties in CSGO right now, I'd say. Like, he's just displaying his talent time and time again. Won him so many vital rounds here. But this is the problem I'm talking about, right? The fact that Scream has got into T-spawn undetected completely. He's killing people down the bottom of mid, and obviously he gets that confidence now. This is just Scream things, right? But Nico almost getting there. He's like...
But still, that put a scare into G2. That's going to shock them. Because you are not supposed to lose a 1v5, basically, is what it was. Like, how does that happen?
Hold on. That has dented the money of the CTs tremendously. You can see 2 players on towards the family. So Nico didn't win the round, but he's given them some decent footing into this one. It's a semi-4-5 for them. There's 1 Deagle where they have got Chris J on towards the AWP. As I said before, it's been some huge holes in their terrorist defenses here, allowing the CTs just to kind of dissect them across the map and just getting in and being absolute nuisances. But this time... G2 just with 2 kits and kind of lacking a little bit on the utility. Not single incendiary, just a couple of smokes remain now. And Chris J once again going for this pick towards middle. He knows he can probably get out towards the doors. And whether he can find that kill onto City Spawn is going to be another question.
No, exactly. They are taking a little bit more time, though. I do like that. But they're getting close to that minute mark. And this is where, on the CT side, you're going to want to start to peek for info, start to make a play. And it's going to be Existence walking into a bit of a trap here in Upper Dark. He lines them up, but still, Chris J is quick enough to get that refrag. Still gets dropped down to 12 HP, but now the game is up. And Scream, he's got a lot of work ahead of him here. They're going to take that fight. Speedy's going to catch out Shox, who just decides to charge in alone. But Scream is there to spring the trap. And now Speedy is low, Chris J is low, and Scream not able to actually convert.
It's actually a really nice approach. You can see 2 low players from Mousesports. They're waiting for Nex to come in, boosting up at the same time, making sure he has 2 targets to shoot at. Only manages to drop 1. Had he got 2 there, that was the round over. But now Mousesports with a heavy advantage going to this one. They're all retake, and RPK smoked out as well. He's going to find one through the smoke, though, somehow, and brings it back into a 2-on-2.
That was Chris, though. Chris was very low. Nex has still got full HP here. And so RPK, he tries to play it sneaky. He tries to get through that smoke. And it's not going to happen for him. He gets caught out, and Mousesports pick up an 8th round here. 14th round of this first half, and things are not looking good for G2. They need to get a couple more rounds on the board.
This is the discipline they needed. They say they could have gone for the replay straight away, but Speedy gets the attention. Next comes around, delivers the kill, and that's another massive round for Mousesports to win here. You can see the money's been heavily affected, of course, the force by coming in though from Kingwin. They want to get the scouts out, the Desert Eagles, 5.7s, and body armor as well. So not much to work with, but Shock's going aggressive on shore once again.
Oh wow, Nex getting dropped though. Down to 10 HP, and yeah, again, Shox, straight charge. He's going to pick up Nex. He gets the headshot on Spitty as well. Gets 2 kills, and now, even if he dies, it's worth. RPK has got control of Catwalk as well, so there's additional pressure here on Mousesports to get control of this situation. And Smith's a tag as well into Chris.
I don't even know what these pistol rounds are about, but Shox finds his 3rd now. How are Mousesports allowing this to happen almost every single time? They're going to win the round as well. Just pushing up towards middle of a 5-7. Apparently, that's all you need these days to find 2 frags. And now Dennis with it all to play for. Has got control of the bomb and a minute to work with, but I don't think he's got the Nico inside him just yet. Shox picks up the final kill, and that's going to be really disappointing for Mousesports there. Another example of the holes in their terrorist defense. They're aware of the situation. They know they've got the hard reset on the G2 now. How are they allowing those players to come up there? Now, that sort of range as well. He should be taken down. He should be dropped straight away by the AKs.
No, but Shocks. Like, especially if you have Chris J who's holding all the way back up in T-spawn with that AWP, how the hell is Shocks getting up the top mid undetected?
It's crazy. There was such a passive setup for them as well. They're waiting for it and still getting dropped, but they're going to be onto the pistols themselves. It is the last round here. RPK is where Speedy is behind blue. This should kill him as well, if not force him to face. He's smoking himself out for now.
Oh, but the flash is coming in from the teammates. RPK going to try and buy as much time as possible here. Second flash goes off. He's going to go for that peek. He wants to find Speedy. He knows that he's pinned down there. Great anti-flash coming in, and that sets it up. RPK steps in and gets a double spray down. And that's going to get Shocks into the fight as well, dropping the bomb here at Long. They give up Catwalk willingly, G2. They don't need to worry about it anymore. They've got the bomb. They've got Long control. Mousesports have to come to them.
Just Chris J.
Yeah, Smiths. Dude, RPK. Okay, finally. No? Never mind.
Well, they managed to avoid death there. Looks like G2, once they got out towards Long, could have got interesting. The Speedy just stuck behind the blue box, does get Molotov out. They did what they could with the flashbangs. Looked like it could have been a little bit exciting had they found that kill, but RPK stepping up with a double, get a little spray down there. And it's been a really weird game for me. Like, I can't believe how many opportunities Mousesports had to run away with this and just getting eco time and time again. And you have to say, they got a little bit lucky as well for themselves. Like some of the rounds they got with the Desert Eagles towards Long, you can't say they didn't have their fair share of force by wins as well.
No, you're absolutely right there. That's 3 anti-ecos, basically, that Mousesports gave up.
Yeah.
And just imagine the scoreline. 8-7, they come out ahead, but had they not given up those 3 rounds, this would have been a completely one-sided affair.
You know what, sometimes that does happen. Sometimes they'll hit a godlike Desert Eagle shot to open it up, but it wasn't that so much that happening. It was just Mousesports either committing to one side of the map and then finding themselves in a really difficult, sticky situation, or they were just actually not covering the simple positions. They weren't just like doing a default at the start. Normally have like one guy in T-spawn, one holding middle, 2 towards Long, and just kind of have one guy rotating between that. They were just leaving so many gaps in their defenses then. Shocks. Sorry, it was Scream that got towards T-spawn, and the fact he's getting to that position, but gets an AK as well, and full control of the round. It just seemed like Mousesports had some real massive communication issues. They haven't played online since 8 PM actually, so maybe they've had a little bit of a break. They're kind of getting back into the swing of it, but there's no excuse for some of the things that were going on there.
And it's a bit awkward. It's a bit awkward to be, coming in fresh to such an important league as well as the Pro League.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
There's a lot of money on the line here. Every match matters. Hell, every round matters almost when it comes down to tie situations. If it's the difference between you making it to LAN or not, you do not want 1 round or 3 anti-ecos to be making that difference. Between you getting in there and a crack at that, what, $750,000? Right? Huge sum of money.
Yeah, well, we're going to the pistol here. I was going to say, I assume Mousesports normally do boost up players towards short. They have a bit more of an aggressive pistol around than what we saw G2 bring to the table. It's going to be Chris J. Actually, thought he's going towards lower B there. They're spotting towards top and mid, and here we go. Yeah, Nico there looking towards lower B. And it's actually 4 players for G2 there. And Dennis pushing up as well. They've got the pincer coming in.
Yeah, oh, he gets headshot instantly, but then Chris J is able to take out Scream still, and they can fall back now. They have that man advantage. Mousesports, they figured out what G2 were up to. Smith gets his head taken off, and Existence is finally going to be able to hunt down Dennis, but there's still a man alive. That's next, and he's got the fast rotation coming in here from Chris J as well. Chris is just unleashed right now. Triple kill for him, and that sets it up for Next to take out Existence in the meantime. And Shoxy, sorry Shoxy, no joy for you.
Absolutely.
Oh, he might be able to take out Nico here.
I think Nico's just out of there. He's doing decent damage as well. Just chipping away at Shoxy here, and he's going to be fully flashed. Everyone knows where he is, and Speedy wants to go for the kill, but they're showing a little bit of discipline here. Shox manages to take that one, but Nico will finish things off there. But Mousesports, that's what I'm talking about. With that aggression towards middle, you can get, even if you don't find kills, at least you get so much information there. It's actually Chris J with the pins coming in B as well, finds those crisp USB headshots, and they take the pistol there. So G2 getting forced all over the map and getting picked apart slowly but surely with that CT aggression. They're going to be going for the force by here. Normally, if you don't get the bomb down, it's the go-to strategy, of course. Let's get the Tech 9s out, PT-50s, head armor, and let's have a look at the buy. It's an interesting buy actually from Mousesports. 3 UMPs. We've seen that gun coming into the meta more and more actually. Players like Flush are actually buying it in gun rounds over AKs. So let's see what they can do with this.
That's a very solid gun to have, actually. I mean, as far as the SMGs are concerned, rather, it does the most damage versus armor.
But like, can we justify Flusher buying it when he's got enough money to buy 2 AKs? Like,
well, Flusher. You don't question what Flusher does.
Yeah, I agree.
You got aim like Flusher, I mean...
Do what the hell you like.
Yeah, exactly. He's still... I wouldn't even be surprised to see Flusher just going for CZs over rifles.
He did that as well. He was using a Tech 9 and CZ over rifles. Like when he had more than enough money.
Just like, yeah, it's all good. He's so good with the CZ. He's up there as like one of the top 5 players in the world with CZs for me. The push is going to come in, and this is very nicely done here by G2. Nice anti-flash timing, but then Chris J, man, he just continues to dominate. He is waking up here in this second half. He had a bit of a slow start in the first, but now he's racking up the kills. Going for the jump scout play, but now he can calm down. He can cool it a little bit. He's got his teammates rotated in, and now can they actually press in here and actually find a gap to exploit?
Not really sure they'll be able to do much with this, you know. They've got the P250s and Tech 9s, but Chris Jade is relentless. There's firing shots left, right, and center. You'd assume they'll flash over any second and go for the first kill, and there it is. Nico takes down Shocked, and his poor existence now also playable. Going to be on the bomb side. Manages to get one, make things a little bit uncomfortable for the TTs, but going to be a pretty simple procedure from there. So the UMP's coming out on top, but Chris J, after getting 3 kills in the pistol, he gets 3 kills in the second as well against the Force Spy. We talk about him being one of the, I would say he's actually the best scout player in CSGO right now. He probably was rivaled by NBK before, but he's kind of dropped off in terms of the amount he uses it. It's Chris J that kind of is leading the charge there for sure.
Yeah, I was about to say, you know, it's been a while since we've seen NBK really go, you know, play with the shotties, play with the well, I mean, basically all of the weapons that nobody else wanted to do. That's kind of falling down to like JW now, but even JW, it was a real joy to see at Barcelona, at least the fact that we got some vintage JW play with that AWP on us too. That was so sick.
It's so fun to watch when he's in like 5th gear going at it, but we're coming to round number 3 here. It's going to be a pretty conservative buy coming from GT. I've got the Desert Eagles, but Chris J through the box, gets the headshot as well. Tags onto Smith, who gets taken down by Nex with that UMP. But Shocks does manage to take down Nico here, so still something to work with if they can find another deep headshot here.
It doesn't look like Chris was able to spot, but he's going to get the headshot on RBK.
Just keep him coming.
Right? This guy is so quick. Nicely done there by Shoxy, putting the bomb up on the catwalk. So he does have his teammate up there, that's Existence, who's taking point with the Deeg. A bit of a scary situation here for Existence. If he just goes for that peekaboo moment there, you see him trying to get it. And he's got Shoxy there to back him up now as well. So let's see, can they take down Nex? Nex is not in the best of spots.
Oh, yeah.
He is a little exposed here.
He's got a UMP as well. It's hardly the most ideal weapon in that scenario. They should be able to get a short plan down here. Next trying to do what he can to take down Existence there. Actually going to work out in the end. And it's going to be a simple procedure here. Chris J, of course, another jumping scout shot. Why not? Finish things off. But the headline there, G2 just wanted to get the bomb down in that scenario, get that extra $800 for each player. And that should set them up pretty nicely as we're going to round number 4. But Mousesports, though, 3-0, get the 11-7. Definitely in a very strong position here going forward.
3 rounds, 3 times triple kill for Chris J.
Why not?
What does it mean, Henry? Half-Life 3 confirmed?
Yeah,
I think so.
might be.
I think so.
Oh, Chris J just through the doors, through the boxes, all headshots.
In the space of 3 rounds, he's caught up. He ended the first half at 5 frags. In the space of 3 rounds, now he's up to 14. It's like, what's up, Chris?
I like the fact that he's not keeping the scout. Normally, he'll be more than happy to take the scout into the first gun. Remember, he thought, you know what, we're doing so well now, let's not actually throw this away. I've actually got loads of cash, I haven't died once. Get the double orb set up out straight away. Let's surprise him. Nico can be fantastic with the orb as well. Definitely very deadly. He's going to be going towards the long corner. Backs up by Speedy as well. So it's looking like G2 maybe going for a long retake here. Flashes over, smoke towards the corner, and see if he can find that first pick. But they've got an immovable object waiting for them in the form of Nico.
Yeah, and he's also got backup from Speedy. Speedy's had a bit of a slow start as well in the first half, but now it's going to be his time to shine. Nico just trying to put shots through, hitting that timing again with the flashes, though, buying so much time. Speedy just full white the entire time, not able to get in there to lend his teammate a hand. And now Nico, because of that flash, actually gets saved by it. Existence goes with a pop, but Nex is there to take out Shoxy, and Nico just missing shot after shot. Is he actually going to be able to get a kill here? That incendiary forcing him out onto the different angle, and now he's still alive at least, but Existence is there to do work. Okay. What was that, like, longest battle ever, and how... Oh, I get it. I get it, Henry. I get it. I get it. You wanted to see Nico fail. That's why you praised him so hard. Caster curse, bro.
That's
what happened.
How did he miss so many shots there? They weren't even aiming at him. They're all looking at different positions. Like, a player like him should be hitting at least one of those. What did he say, like 4 or 5 shots without anything even being shot at him? And that was a round Mousesports should be winning. But I actually really like that strat from GT in that round. As he completely dissecting the long area, double smokes coming in and just swarming it. And once again going towards the same area. Smith's opening it up once more. It is a force spike coming in from the TTs, and it's all to play for now. Speedy had to find a kill there. Screaming coming out on top. And it's going to be another 5-on-3 here. CTs with a UMP, no kits. Chris J naked with the AWP. I feel like their days are numbered here going forward. Need to find something here as Dennis gets boosted up.
Yeah, now it's all going to be on Chris. Chris with that AWP. You were able to go big in the anti-ecos and in the pistol. Now it's a matter of stepping up when the rifles are in play here. Indeed. G2, they still have some utility to use as well. A couple of flashes, a couple of Molotovs, and a single smoke. Makes you think that they could go towards that B site, get that CT smoke down eventually, and just go for the split. That's still very much an option here for G2. But it doesn't look like it's going to be the case. G2, instead of leaving a man lurking, they could have left Smith and Pitt just to lurk around and see if they couldn't catch somebody out on long. they're just going to focus on long and actually just focus on taking over this A site.
Well, the CTs right now, they need to make a gamble here. They're going for the mid play. You can see Dennis trying to push through the mid doors. They're going to B tunnels. I think once they realise it's an A attack, they'll probably bow out of the round. They haven't got a kit to work with. Next had to find a kill in that gap there. It actually gifted a little bit of a read, but this weapon, once again, the UMP, definitely not an ideal weapon to be going into this situation. Nate goes onto the bomb site. Will do some reasonable damage. Actually, it's going to be Existence taking down Dennis, and Next coming in as well. But Chris J, just with the AWP now, won't really have many options here. But that's just a real nice long take coming in from G2. This is one of the maps where you can actually utilise the spawns very efficiently. If you do ever play a decent long spawn, you know the French guys are always going to take that every single time. Flash over, you've got great talent on the team to open up those frags. This time is Existence, picks up a double. And Chris J now just trying to stay alive. That's going to give his position away though.
Yeah, they're already hunting. As you guys can see, Shoxy just hauling into T-spawn here, seeing if he can't get that pincer going in onto Chris. It'd be a big kill, but also it's not ideal for G2. They're right on the edge. They want to keep 3 players alive.
Yeah.
So Shoxy's just hoping to get lucky, basically, to catch Chris J looking the wrong way, but he shouldn't really be too aggressive in the hunt here.
Yeah, they've got 2 players waiting in the pits, making sure they stay alive. I think, like you said, Shock's going for something here. At this point, it's not even worth a kill for Chris J. He needs to be taking this up to next round. So the CT's probably shouldn't be buying into this, but the fact they have Chris J, who can be so versatile, he can probably go, you know what, I'll go for the mid phase, or I'll go towards B by myself. Maybe they'll boost him up towards short and go for that aggressive pick towards lower B. Something, he needs to be bringing something to the table here, something to give them that man advantage. We saw it from G2, and what's he going to be going with? Going for the straight up mid face, it seems. Okay, just nothing, okay. Just have your knife out, why not? Another long take coming in from G2.
Yeah, and G2, it's almost like watching that. Who were they playing against on Cash? Where they just ran that B take, rinse and repeat, round after round after round after round.
Doesn't ring a bell to me, but
why am I blanking on who their opponent was on that map? Because it was actually pretty fascinating to watch. Just because it's exactly this. Like once G2 actually figure out a strat that seems to work for them on the T side, they'll just keep running it over and over again until their opponents figure out how to handle it. And then it's just like, okay, then we change up. Now that you actually learned something, now we're just going to go ahead and keep you guessing, right? So G2 very good at that. And again, they get the successful A take here. Not a whole lot that Mousesports could do. And Chris, just no gap for him to exploit in that smoke.
It's going to have to be a full retake. If a Shocks towards the top middle, dropping 2, that's going to be enough to win the round. And the CT's managed to pick up an AK-47. They can save an AWP. That's actually pretty decent haul to take into the next round. You know, kind of boost the money reserves a little bit. And you can see G2 now just making sure they stay alive once again. Not really worth the hunt at this stage. The only problem is Chris J keeping the AWP, but going hunting for him when they don't really know where he is, he's going to pick up the frags here. It's such a high-risk play to try and hunt him down.
No, exactly. So, and then there's Dennis in mid, kind of just chilling.
Gets a deagle.
Yeah, gets a dig. Hand it over to Nico. Magical things can happen.
Yeah, that's the thing. But yeah.
Do you think that they double eco here in this situation? Not if they save an AK.
No, the fact they have an AWP and an AK as well. They won't have the best money, but the fact Dennis can have a Desert Eagle, like, I'm more than happy to use that. Get a couple of pharmacists perhaps. Definitely footing into this one.
This is wide territory. You're right.
So AK dropped on towards Nico, and M4 should come out. It's actually a pretty reasonable buy. But Smiths has the AWP once more. It's actually been a quieter game for him. Currently selling 9 for 18. One of his home maps. We were talking about it on the desk before. But this is a big round here for both teams. If Mousesports can pick this up, get themselves back into contention. Smiths firing off shots through the smoke. Not going to land anything so far. And have a look at the setup so far. It's been long. It's been a heavy area of contention for the CTs. Just we're playing 2 towards us so far, waiting for that rush to come in. Using the incendiary to buy some time.
And that's so smart of Shoxy as well. Because they've been taking long, they've actually delayed the take a little bit, just a touch, and they've given time for Shoxy to throw some nades over on that B site.
Yeah.
Keep Mousesports guessing. Make sure that Mousesports aren't just going to start thinking, okay, they're done with long, guys. It's all good. You know, focus on the B site now, right? And then boom, G2 are there to take over, and they are going to go for the aggressive take. Again, Speedy, he's going to be under the gun.
It's this really nice long setup with the smokes. It's isolating whoever's in the pit here. Speedy gets one, but it's not enough, I'm afraid.
That's actually, I'm actually not against that. That was definitely better than him just getting traded for free like in the last few
That's
rounds.
true, but this is what they want. They want full long control, and now they're still a 4-on-4. I sort of think this heavily favours the T's with Chris J doing what he can. Stuck on the A-bomb site. This is going to be punishment eventually. And next, though, from City Spawn, making things happen. Comes down to a 1-on-1, you know. They've actually managed to claw their way back into this. Just Dennis up against Smith, so Smith has so much time to play with it. Can get a platform plan down for long. And mouse about a kit here. It's going to be Dennis with the mind game. I'd like if he went towards long, actually. Try and catch him out before he rotates over. But Smiths, though, he's not having any of it. He's actually just sitting on the A-bomb site. He's reading this pretty well.
Yeah, actually, this is the catch-all approach here from Smiths rather than commit. which is exactly what Dennis was hoping for. Dennis, he's so clever as well. Going to put that smoke, or rather that flash up on the catwalk, drawing attention to himself over here, and that's actually going to give him the chance to take a shot, but he misses, and now all Smith has to do is crouch behind the box. There shouldn't be an angle here for Dennis to work with. Smith should have this in the bag. He misses the shot, but is there a kid anywhere? There is! He actually picks up a kid!
What?
No way, Dennis. Smiths, what are you doing, Smiths? How do you lose that round?
Once you knew he's long, right? Why are you staying on the bomb side and challenging him? Like, once you know he's in CD spawn, at least get behind those double boxes on the bomb side, and at least he has to run all the way around to come and find you, right? Like, why are you giving him an opportunity to run at the ramp and make it like a 50-50 play, whether you get the kill? That bomb's going to blow up. He got that defused by 1 second, right?
Yeah.
Just sit behind the bomb side boxes. Like, he has to come all the way around and kill you then. At least you get a chance at a no-scope as well, but you guaranteed the round. That's kind of nuts how Mousesports even managed to win that round. Is G2, once again with the long take, completely open it up, 4-4, get the first kills on the bomb side as well. Next with the godlike play from CD Spawn to get them back into it, but Smiths was so much to play for there. I feel like that's a little bit of a throw on his behalf.
Yeah, I'm a little mystified as well on how that actually played out there. Maybe Smiths also, no, there's not really an excuse for nice little pop flash there by Chris. Well, not really a pop, but definitely catching out Smith. So Smiths just can't catch a break here.
There we go, 5-on-4. They're going to be taking advantage as well. Actually, Scream comes back and gets the reply. I thought the CDs were going to be falling back straight away, but it's RPK to get the second frag. And now the B bomb site open for business. Chris J isolated towards the back. Scream does the work, and this is another really fast take coming in from G2. This is a round they surely can't throw away. You can see the CT's not even contending for this one. Going to be holding back. And after Chris J get that first pick, like I said, I thought, okay, they're going to take advantage of this now, fall back and make the T's work for them. They stay towards middle, and it's Scream that picks up 2 frags, opens the whole side up. Chris J stuck towards the B site, like it's right in the corner. That's the worst possible place you can be, right? As soon as you get a flashbang on you, you're dog meat at that stage. You're done for.
Yeah, they are. I mean, their economy is dog meat as well, man. They just don't have anything. It's that classic case of, win one round, but then lose the following. Your economy gets hard reset back to $1,400, and there really isn't a whole lot for Mousesports to work with here. And this is going to have the big impact on how they actually approach these rounds now, because, is Nico, are they going to be aggressive? Or are they going to be playing, with in the back of their minds that idea, wait, we have to hold on to these guns for the next round, so we can't actually, go in and take the fight like we usually would.
Well, I do manage to save an AWP here on towards Nico. Speedy with the M4A1 as well, so they will save those weapons. That's going to be valuable. Shocks looking to see if he can find someone here. Not going to be gifted anything just yet, but G2 find another big run. Like you said, full money reset coming in, so could option to force up some PT50, so I wouldn't say I'm a big fan of it. It's still not got to the point of no return. There's still plenty of rounds to play with. I'd say to try and hedge your bets here with the AWP. We can see a little bit of force by coming in. I think I saw Desert Eagle on next, so he's gone down to 750. They lose this round, they definitely still can't buy it. Next goes down through the doors after buying a Deagle. That gets put to bed straight away, and the headshot comes in. Nico had the decent spawn towards short, so he's gifted the opportunity to go find that first pick, but looking like G2 going for another pick here. It's going to be RPK hunting out Dennis towards the back of B.
And in the meantime, Speedy has taken some damage. That was some sick movement coming out from Nico, though. A little bit of the JW style, getting that, again, that bunny hop straight into the catwalk there, trying to look to suicide to catch somebody off guard. Well, he's not rewarded this time, and so things slow down. Now G2, all they have to do is take their time and group up. They're still holding to see if Mousesports are going to get desperate, if they're going to try and push anywhere, and it will be a double push into Upper Dark here, but RPK, bit of a clever spot from him. Up on the boxes, Dennis not really expecting it, but he is, man, RPK, he's just a monster. He lays Speedy low, and that opens up the B site for business.
Yeah, such a sick spot when you're there.
Missing the shot,
it's not a place you pre-aim whatsoever. He's waiting for people to walk in. And now Nico going to be pushing through this. Oh, I thought he was pushing through. Decides to go back towards the window here. Maybe I'd find one frag, but at this point it's just a case of save the AWP again. They're only getting $1,900 next round, so money's still very tight indeed. And the fact it's a 5-on-2, I'd say just get the hell out of it right now. The problem is they just don't really know where the terrorists are. You can see players at the top of middle as well. And someone on crossover. This is actually almost an impossible situation. The shot Nico had to actually hit there to stay alive, and Scream's going to come in, take him down, and poor old Chris J. Not really much to play for here, and that's going to be a really bitter pill for Mousesports to swallow going into round number 10. You can see the money still in a horrible position. $2,900, pretty much average across the board. Just Chris J with the option to buy Desert Eagle, but I'd prefer him just to have the full AWP by next round.
He has to be full on. We're getting the replay here of RPK with his lurk in Upper Dark.
Just waiting for maybe the CTs to do something with this. Obviously, with that first kill through the doors, the CTs have nothing to work with. Pushing to upper B, so you can find a Desert Eagle headshot. RPK too strong, I'm afraid. As we go into round number 10, and Shocks continuing the charge here to take down the first shot. They're going to be committing to this as well. They get the first couple of kills. They know where the third player is as well. Dennis stuck on the platform, and you just think it's a matter of time before it goes down. Does manage to get one. Do a little bit of damage as well, but that's going to be the round over with Nico and Speedy just remaining.
Yeah, looking for some lucky headshots. They might be able to find it if Shox keeps challenging. That was a little scary there. Speedy not able to connect, and that's going to leave it down to Nico, who is much better with the dig. And there we go. That's why. Double kill easy. Makes it look so easy. It's just like, Speedy, I love it, man. He's just like, actually, Speedy, here, let me show you how it's done real quick.
That's so sick. So, like, at 2-on-1, he shouldn't have... Like, he shouldn't be able to find a kill. Now, look where the terrorists are. He has no way of getting a kill here, but I've got a feeling he might not be done yet. Let's see what he can do.
Yeah, there's the smoke. And he sees the man going up onto a slope. But the problem is that Smith is going to be in long. That bomb is going to be planted wide open for him for long plateau, and so Smith should be able to hold this for days.
Yeah, you can see they're kind of aware. He's coming towards short as well. Going to be flashing him off for now, but he's still hungry, man. He wants this existence, just cowering on that A ramp. Just said, you know what, I'm not even going to face. Please just kill him with the orb. Make this easy for me. I don't want to have to face this guy.
YNK right now is just like rubbing his hands together like, yes. Feel my boy Nico.
This is why he's one of my favorite players to watch. Just like any situation, he's the guy who can get them back into it as well. And what's so cool about him being in-game leader as well, now like you can see they base all their calls around him, especially on the CT side. They go like, okay guys, you go for this A stack, or you go for this aggressive play towards B. I'm actually going to sit here with an AK on A, and I'll actually get 3 kills, no problem whatsoever, and I'll make sure we win this round single-handedly. I want to go here, I want to kill people, and that's what's amazing about having a star player. A lot of people say like, oh, he's the in-game leader, he's not going to get many frags, he's got too much pressure on his shoulders. I'm sorry, if you can't find frags with the in-game leader, you shouldn't be in-game leading. If you feel like that holds you back, then you're not cut out for the role, in my opinion. I think that's an excuse that should be eradicated. I think we give too much credit to him.
That's plagued, you know, well, there is perhaps like a little bit of an example to use. That's probably what people are referring to. You know, it's like, look at Exist right now. He's no longer in-game leading. Yeah. Now he starts dropping 30 bombs. Yeah. So there is perhaps that, right?
Well, yeah, of course. But like, that's cool. But just don't be an in-game leader then. Like, if you're going to be an in-game leader, you can't frag while you're doing that. That's almost like... I'd rather have people fragging, to be honest, but I think it's great for an NRP. I think that the fact they have threat, I think they're going to be a much stronger team this year. I think that's a massive
we're going to see them later, guys.
We are.
We're going to see them later.
Well then, back to this game though.
And yeah, this is the key round. This is the difference right now. G2, they're on the brink. If they win this round, Mousesports are in a force buy situation going into the last one, and there's the stack, and it works. Next is there to take out Scream, who just decides to peek on his own. No refrag possible. And that's definitely going to cost G2. Mousesports able to get out of this situation unscathed.
Yeah, the only way stack. We don't normally see it too much in CSGO anymore because it's actually not that effective, you know, and Mousesports somehow managed to make it work. Scream giving them a kill, spots 2 targets, unable to choose which one he's going for. Does decent damage to Dennis, but Mousesports getting the 5-on-4 here. They are currently behind 1 round, so this is pretty massive for them.
There's the shot, at least Dennis. Full flash, doesn't matter, gets that angle right, and RPK just goes running right into a bunch of M4 bullets. We do have alert coming in here from Shox onto B, gets that angle down with that smoke, and now Chris is going to be exposed. Chris with the AWP, we'll see if he actually decides to peek on the other side, if he goes for that peekaboo, and yeah, as soon as he does, raises his head, spots out Shox, and a free kill there. And this is it, man. They are just laying into him, although as I say that, Exist is putting up a fight, and he takes out Dennis, but Nexus there from CT to take him out in turn.
Well, then just going to be Smith remaining. There has been some very strange decisions here from G2. A lot of unquestionable and like unfavorable positions. Like going out towards middle by yourself, Scream, like without having anyone to go for the refrag whatsoever. If someone was faced with him straight after, that would have been a double frag all day long. Like, he did decent damage. And this frag, like I said, normally you have like a smoke that drops in front of the doors and you're looking over it, right? This is actually pretty audacious to be facing like that. And I feel like they got a little bit lucky next picking up that frag. And Dennis finding one with 18 HP as well. But there we go. Mousesports draw things up here. 13-13 and another long spawn coming in for Smith. Who will be facing, but it's a change of mentality for Mousesports. They've gone for the double face towards short, looking into lower B with a boost.
Yeah. Oh, this is clever stuff. This might actually work because they are making their way down there. Scream, again, right on the edge.
The problem is that they face towards long at the start, right? They at least have the info, there's no one there. So they're going to be aware. Like, Scream is not going to be facing this at all. He'll flash it, surely, before he even decides to go around the corner.
I don't know, it's Scream, bro.
Yeah?
Yep, there it is.
Ooh, okay.
There it is.
Okay. So they knew
Scream sometimes does things.
That's crazy. Like normally you can play players at the top of middle who would flash towards short first before you even do that. But Scream just facing straight up just gives the kill away. 5-4.
And that's going to be insanely frustrating for G2. Because again, just back-to-back key rounds, and they're down a man, and then a random shot onto Existence clips him through the wall. You heard the headshot.
Yeah.
He's down to 30 HP, and G2, well, they are gathered around mid. They do have Shox hanging out in Long House with RPK taking care of Upper Dark, and now we have to see, are they going to try and change things up here? They have been favoring B quite a bit, and Long, obviously, but Catwalk hasn't been given too much love here. from the Frenchies.
It's true. They've been facing towards middle, towards long, haven't actually gone up catwalk too much. It's going to be RPK now. Looking for a frag. It's a decent flashbang. This kill's going to be massive, but the double stack coming in from Mousesports and managing to take him down. Smiths answers back straight away. Can he find the second? He does. Beautiful stuff from Smiths to bring it into a 3-on-3. They're clawing this round back. 20 seconds to play with, though.
Yeah, and we still have Chris J alive on the site. That's the issue. Spots that flash. He's gonna, but he sets himself up to get shot by Shoxy. And now this actually falls apart. How did Mousesports actually give up the situation here? The control of the situation. Smith with a double entry frag on a catwalk that opened up everything. And Existence catches out next. It's all on Dennis now, lurking on the edge of the smoke. And guess what? Shoxy, he eats ninjas for lunch, bro.
Apparently so. So the smoke bomb not working out too well there for the last remaining ninja, but that's actually pretty interesting. Mousesports get the first 2 frags, and they're committing and staying towards short, but they're actually giving an option for GT to find frags there. Smith can't take anything away from those. Are 2 fantastic shots there to take them down, but it looked like Mousesports had that completely
I'm just surprised that Nico and Speedy didn't drop back after the initial kill.
My whole thing. When you get those main advantages at CT, you've won the round. It's up to them to claw it back, and they didn't have much time to play with. Make them come work for you. You've got an AWPer. Just come make them cross into the bomb site, get crossfires established, but they're going to be rectifying the situation straight away. There's going to be a force by Chris J on the AWP. He goes towards the long face, takes down Shoxy, and now GT once again need to find something and Scream. He just likes to walk out. Can he do anything with this?
You can hear the cry, YOLO, and he gets that Molotov down as well. So now actually that's going to make it a little bit tricky here for Nico, who just goes charging in. Smith somehow survives. And Dennis, he doesn't have anywhere to back up to. There's already a man out on the site, RPK. Of course he's going to hit that headshot with the AK. The bomb is going to rotate through Upper Dark, but Spitty's pushed out from long. He gets caught by Existence, and Next not able to connect with the Deagle is going to allow them to get onto this B site. G2, they're making it happen with how close this map has been.
Yeah.
At the very end, it looks like they're going to be eking out the win here.
This is everything for Mousesports right now. After getting that first pick and force buying this round, they're going to have not much to work with at all. Summer next. This might be the round that decides their fate. Just Chris J now, 2-on-1. Knows he needs to do something with this. Has got a kid as well, so it'll be down to GT to face him at this stage. No one giving anything away just yet. Player towards tunnels, and that's going to be it. Going to be aware of position. Somehow hits through the door. RPK goes under 3 HP. Can he do something with this? Unfortunately, he can't. But still, made it a little bit exciting there towards the end.
I'm so sad that was not a kill.
Yeah, right? That would have been so sick. Had he got that kill? Actually, you know you'd have won that round. Just 3 more damage.
G2 would have tilted off the face of the universe, man. They wouldn't have been on the planet anymore. They'd have been like into a dark hole. Black hole, rather, but... Jeez. What a crazy shot from Chris.
This is what I'm talking about. Going into this round, they have what? Pistols and a scout. That was the round that decided this map, unfortunately, for Mousesports. Shox going in once again, and you know what? Apparently they want to make this last a little bit longer. Just running in by himself. Gets taken down by the 5-7. And Nico as well, top of middle, undetected. The snake in the grass. Coming in. Smiths. Oh, this time is going to be everything. I think he has been spotted. Can't land the Deagle headshot. Going to be discovered now, though. And Nico, everything to play for here, as he's got 2 players either side of him.
Oh, now he's going to get that smoke down. So this actually leaves Existence in a bit of an awkward spot. Chris J has still got control of Long. Nico decides to fight his way out of Longhouse, though. Perhaps worried about what was happening with Existence. It will be a trade frag over at B Slope. Dennis is going to take out Scream, who just decides to power forward and take a fight.
Every time, apparently.
He believes, man. It's all about having faith.
Yeah, well.
Power of faith.
Some of the decisions I've seen him made, I'm not sure I've got the same faith he has, but 3-on-2 now. Next, with the AK-47. So strong in these situations. Gives his position away slightly, trying to stop the bomb going down, but not going to happen this time as he does get wrecked by RPK, and that's going to be GG right there. But very exciting game, I would say. Lots of high-octane moments, lots of force buys, lots of clutches, lots of bad decisions from both teams, I would say. But it's G2 that come out on top in the end.
Really surprising, actually. I mean, Mousesports, the 3 anti-ecos are going to come back to bite them. That's just going to be, they're that could have made all of the difference. That would have completely crushed the first half, and they would have had it in the bag. Instead, it wound up being so even after the first half, and then more mistakes costing Mouse.
I hate that.
When G2 were making plenty of mistakes as well.
I think it was more detrimental to Mousesports. The amount of anti-ecos they threw away there just because they weren't just doing a default, just run a default. That's the way you approach an anti-eco, right? Obviously, you can if you get a really sick spawn and you want to go challenge long. That's absolutely fine. But if you're just going to be doing 5 players walking into B, that's the tightest choke point on the entire map, right? You're just walking in that tiny tunnel, and if one player faces you, gets a PT50 kill, and they get nades on you as well, that round is over. And they weren't assertive enough. You are going to get discovered. You need to be pushing in. But yeah, Mousesports throwing that game in the first half, I would say they could have got so much more out of that and actually broken down the CT economy so much more. But G2 holding strong there and actually just focusing on the long area and middle. Didn't really have to rely on Catwalk at all.
No, and then the one round that they win on Catwalk, you can tell that Mousesports were a little off. You know, this is the difference between the god tier players basically, and it's actually just like a clear example. You know, Olfmeister on Dust 2, where, you know, he'll take that peek on Catwalk, takes that first fight, gets the first kill, but then just disappears, drops into CT and fades away, right? And somehow Nico, they decided to stick around and take that fight. That gave it all up to Smith with a double kill on the entry there. So, regardless, we're not going to dwell too long on Dust 2 because we have more good games coming up tonight. We need to get into a break real quick before we get to them, though. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back in 5 minutes.